Normally, when we are talking, we are discussing different topics such as the accounting fundamental equation and all the topics of the bookkeeping cycle. Or we might be talking about the QuickBooks software and how to maneuver and make the best use of it. Or perhaps we're talking about Foundation First, which is the program that I have to help you get your business started and get those paying clients and keeping them happy. However, today I want to touch on a different topic altogether. So I was leading a group of about 20 interesting people here. We were very diverse. We had entrepreneurs and consultants and coaches, all different types of careers. And the subject that we were discussing was about how overwhelmed, beat, and tired or burned out many people were feeling due to the too much to do and I can't stop now attitude. Are you one of those people who can't stop doing? I have yet met anyone who hasn't felt overwhelmed from time to time. And since it tends to be an uncomfortable experience, you have a negative view of it or you perceive it as a weakness. And we don't like to admit that we are overwhelmed or want to talk about it. Primarily, the being overwhelmed occurs in working life, but it can carry over to personal and family life as well. And it frequently does, especially now that so many people are working from home. We get started working on projects with good intentions, but if we don't have it planned out right and minimize the amount of work, we can quickly and easily become overwhelmed. So I want to share with you some strategies that I got from my own personal experience and from working with coaching clients who get burned out and growing cranky, frustrated, or even getting depressed. This first strategy that I'm going to share with you is actually should be done probably at least once a day, if not more. And it's very simple. Stop what you're doing and take a break. You can go for a walk in the woods. You could sit down under a tree and drink or sip on a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Some other ideas would be to meditate or pray, to do some deep breathing exercises, call a friend and have coffee with them just to talk. One of the newest things that I started doing was recommended to me was to simply take a piece of paper and a pencil and start sketching um, artistry. Now, I am not an artist at all, and I decided to give it a try, and I was very surprised at the amount of relaxation, especially mentally, that would help by just sitting there and sketching. And it doesn't matter what I'm sketching. I could sketch a car, I could sketch a house or the landscape that I am surrounded by. The next suggestion that I want to make is to prioritize. You could do something like this video here showing you to put sticky notes list all the sticky notes and then pick and choose them. Or you could simply get a piece of paper and make two columns. In one column, list all the urgent things that you need to get done in the specific day or the week. And in the other column, list the projects that you can either delegate or hire someone to do for you, or maybe they're projects that don't need to be done immediately and can be put off to a later date. The next suggestion that I have for you is to eliminate clutter. Eliminate. So if you go to your desk and you have piles of paper and stuff scattered everywhere, just clutter, that alone will make you feel overwhelmed. So go ahead and organize your desk and remove items that aren't necessary. Throw things away that are not needed any longer. Decrease that clutter so that you don't feel so overwhelmed. Also, the same sense in regards to emails. Now, that may not be clutter on your actual desk, but if you go into your email and you see a huge list of unopened emails, you may get overwhelmed because you don't know which ones to open, which ones are the most important. If that's the case, then go ahead and start unsubscribing to the unnecessary emails. Also, another thing that you could do, depending on your email program, but many email programs allow you to filter and sort your emails. So if you can do that, then I suggest you can filter the emails that come from your clients to be specifically set aside as the most important emails. Now, if you happen to be one of those people that are got the reputation for always saying yes when somebody asks you to volunteer for some help, it's okay to set up boundaries, and you can say no to some of these. All right. So you can stop attending unnecessary meetings that you may not be super involved in. Get off some of those committees. Maybe even decrease volunteering at these fundraisers unless they are things that you have a total passion for. Just take a step back a little bit when people ask you to always help. It's okay to say no every once in a while. Now, when you are starting your business and you are, beginning this whole process, it is important for you to have a set schedule in your mind or even, you know, set on a calendar. The reason for that is when I first started my bookkeeping firm, I would do an 11 or 12-hour day quite frequently just because I felt like I had to keep working. I had something needed to always be done. My husband is the one who pointed out that I was becoming a workaholic, and he encouraged me to create this schedule. And now I look at it as probably one of the most valuable tools that I have. I have now decided to make my business 9 to 5 on Monday through Friday, and that is all. Um, when I create my engagement letters for my new clients, I state my hours on that letter, telling them that if it's an emergency and they need me to do any work outside of my normal business hours, there will be an increased fee, and it has to be relatively large in order to keep your client from just overlooking that. So have boundaries and have a set schedule. If you say you're going to work 9 to 5, don't jump in on starting at work at 8 o'clock and work till 6. Specifically say 9 to 5. If you need to set up an alarm on your phone or an alarm on something else like your computer, then go ahead and do that and shut down work and walk away from your computer specifically as if you just punched out of a clock at a work office environment. Now, this strategy may seem a little cold-hearted, and the video may be a little funny here, but what I'm trying to tell you, though, is when you are surrounded by people, even if they are your quote-unquote friends, or they are your business, people you work with in the office, if they are negative and they are constantly cutting you down and telling you that your dreams don't matter, you'll never amount to anything, then these are the type of people that you really need to distance yourself with. Don't let them tire you out and burn you down. So give yourself distance from the people that are what I like to call your dream stealers. They're constantly throwing the cold water on you and telling you that it's not going to work. Now you need to decide what is the most important in your life. If you want a balanced life, you will have to make changes in your life to allow it to happen. That takes time and planning, but it's well worth it. So take the action steps today to make a change in your life. Call a friend who will support you, or take a class to get more organized, or perhaps work with a coach who will support and motivate you to have a more balanced life. It's very important that you take the action step today. And even if you cannot start with calling a friend or a coach or signing up for a class. You can at least take this first step of taking a break from your work and going for a walk. Get your blood pumping, get some air in your lungs, and clear your mind. Then your feelings of overwhelmingness will start to diminish.